You are listening to Echoes of the Forgotten Realm. Chapter 1, The Ice That Binds. The wind that swept across the desolate tundra was as cold and unforgiving as the history that lay buried beneath it. For centuries, the frozen wasteland had been known only as the Blightlands, a barren expanse of ice and rock that served as a grim reminder of a forgotten war. It was a place where the sun rarely shone, where the very air seemed to crackle with the lingering echoes of a power long since vanished. But now, as the icy grip of winter began to loosen its hold, something long dormant beneath the frozen earth stirred. The villagers of Hollow Creek had always lived in fear of the Blightlands. The old folk spoke of a kingdom of perpetual winter, a place where the sun never dared to set and an oppressive ruler held court. The younger folks scoffed at these tales, finding comfort in their ignorance. After all, what danger could lurk beyond the snowdrifts? Until one day when the snows receded, revealing something that had lain buried for centuries. It started subtly, just a shift in the landscape that no one paid much heed to, and then the whispers began, carried on the wind like the murmur of ghosts, whispers of a city, of towering walls and spires that pierced the sky, all made of a strange black ice that shimmered with an otherworldly glow. As more and more of the city came into view, so did the grim truth of its existence. This was no mere geological oddity. This was the remnants of a lost kingdom, the very heart of the Blightlands. News of the discovery spread like wildfire, reaching the ears of Elara Vance, a young historian who had always felt a deep connection to her homeland's past. Despite her scholarly pursuits, Elara had never ventured into the Blightlands, not even to study the ruins from afar. She'd always been content to pore over ancient texts and maps, piecing together the history of her people through dusty scrolls and faded ink. But now, driven by an insatiable curiosity, she decided to venture into the heart of the Blightlands herself. As Elara approached the city, the closer she got, the stranger things became. The air grew heavy, charged with an energy that seemed almost sentient. The ground beneath her feet hummed with power, and the very stones whispered secrets from a bygone era. The closer she got to the city, the more she felt its icy presence seeping into her bones, chilling her to the core. Was this the lingering magic of a forgotten kingdom? Or was there something more sinister at play? Meanwhile, in the bustling city of Alder's Gate, a tense silence had fallen over the usually lively marketplace. The once vibrant stalls now stood abandoned, their wares scattered and broken. The townsfolk huddled in their homes, their faces drawn and pale in the flickering lamplight. They spoke in hushed tones of a darkness that had descended upon the city, of nightmares that chilled them to the bone. Even the bravest of Alder's Gate soldiers seemed uneasy, their hands shaking as they gripped their weapons. What was it that had brought such fear to their midst? What dark force had seeped into the very fabric of their city? Chapter 2, The Blood of the Ancients. When the sun finally broke through the oppressive clouds, casting its golden rays upon the land, it revealed a sight that made Elara's heart skip a beat. Before her stood the majestic ruins of a long-lost kingdom, a testament to a power and beauty that had lain dormant for centuries. The towering walls and spires seemed to reach out to her, beckoning her to uncover their secrets. But as she stepped closer, the ice beneath her feet began to glow with an eerie light, and the whispers grew louder, echoing tales of a forgotten past as Elara ventured deeper into the ruins. She stumbled upon a series of ancient chambers, each one more breathtaking than the last. There were libraries filled with cryptic texts, courtyards adorned with haunting statues, and thrones crafted from the very essence of winter. But it was in the throne room that Elara made a discovery that would change everything. Etched into the icy throne was a sigil, a symbol that seemed to resonate deep within her very being. As she reached out to touch it, memories flooded her mind, memories not her own, but of a long line of rulers, the last of which had borne a striking resemblance to herself. In that moment, the truth hit her like a tidal wave. She wasn't just a historian, she was the last bloodline of the ancient kingdom, the last ember of a dying flame. But with this newfound knowledge came a heavy burden, a responsibility that had been passed down through her ancestors for generations. Now the fate of an entire kingdom rested on her shoulders, a kingdom that had been lost to time, buried under centuries of ice and myth. Meanwhile, back in Alder's Gate, the whispers from the Blightlands had reached the ears of Lord Valerian, a man whose ambition knew no bounds. He had long coveted the throne of his neighboring kingdom, seeing it as an opportunity to expand his own power and influence, and now with the reappearance of the Blightlands and the rumor of a lost bloodline, he saw his chance to claim what he believed was rightfully his, with a sinister grin spreading across his face. He assembled a small band of loyal followers and set out for the Blightlands, eager to uncover the truth and claim the throne for himself. Chapter 3: The Whispering Stone. As Elara struggled to come to terms with her newfound destiny, she felt the weight of centuries pressing down on her, the hopes and fears of an entire bloodline converging on her every decision. Should she reclaim the throne, embracing the power and legacy of her ancestors, even if it meant leaving behind the life she had always known? Or should she renounce her birthright, choosing the safety of obscurity over the perils of the crown? Meanwhile, Lord Valerian had arrived at the Blightlands, his eyes gleaming with avarice as he surveyed the ruins before him. He could feel the power that pulsed within the ancient walls, and his determination to claim it for himself only grew stronger. But he wasn't the only one drawn to the Blightlands by its whispers. In the bustling city of Alder's Gate, rumors of the kingdom's return had sparked fear and uncertainty. The citizens huddled in their homes, whispering anxiously about the dangers that lurked in the icy wastelands. Even the bravest of the city's guards seemed uneasy, their usual swagger replaced by a nervous tension as the days passed. A sense of unease settled over Alder's Gate. People began to disappear, vanishing without a trace, leaving behind only whispers of shadowy figures and chilling screams. Fear turned to panic when the missing were found, their bodies drained of life, their eyes wide with terror. A malevolent force seemed to be at work, preying on the citizens and sapping them of their vitality. All signs pointed to the Blightlands and the kingdom's return seemed less a blessing and more a curse. Amidst the chaos, Elara found herself at a crossroads. She knew she couldn't remain hidden forever. She had to confront the darkness that threatened to consume her world, even if it meant facing her deepest fears. With a determined look in her eye, she resolved to journey to Alder's Gate, seeking answers and perhaps a way to stop the reign of terror that gripped the city. Little did she know that her journey would lead her to a truth so shocking it would shatter her world as she knew it. And now we must bid you farewell.